ladies and gentlemen, get your Coke and Rosé and take a big swig. I swear to God, that's what Sonia's going to be drinking later in this episode. Coca-Cola and Rosé. Classy. Even for Sonia. Welcome to the Real Housewives of New York. Your friendly, shady recap. We are on season 12. Wow, it's hard to believe. Episode 16, Not So Very Mariachi. Ugh. They're really digging the bottoms of the barrels for the titles this season, but look, I know it's not easy. Okay, we start out with LuAnn's glorious spa day for the underprivileged, which actually, as it turns out, is kind of nice. I was thinking, giving, women who have spent time in the prison system and are struggling with addiction and other issues, maybe give them some money instead of taking them for a mani-pedi. But let's be generous and hope that she also cut them a check. I don't know. We don't know. Or that Bravo cut them a check. That's more likely, actually, since they filmed there. Let's hope that Bravo also gave them a check for their foundation. Very worthy cause. Again, it's called Fortune House. And, I make fun of LuAnn because she's so pious and self-important and turns everything around to LuAnn. But you can't deny that it isn't kind of a nice idea. And they end up getting more than manis and pedis. They actually end up getting makeovers. They get their hair done, and they seem pretty excited about it. So I'm not going to put it down anymore. I am going to, however, continue to put down LuAnn and the other ladies and everything that they do while they're there at the salon, because that's my job. It's what I do. Okay. Well, the first one there with LuAnn is Ramona, who declares that her birthday party with her 50 very good girlfriends was the party of the century. Good God, girl, get a grip. Are you kidding? You live in Manhattan. I've been to probably C-list parties in Manhattan that were way more exciting than that. I mean, come on. Ramona, get a grip. She needs someone there to sometimes just kind of slap her and say, get a hold of yourself, woman. She's so strange. And the thing that I do like about Ramona is I don't think, actually almost everyone on this show, I don't think they're weird for the show. I think these are their true personalities. I mean, Sonia is Sonia, LuAnn is LuAnn, Ramona is Ramona, Dorinda is Dorinda. These people are actually they're ripping themselves open and showing their true selves with all their weirdness. And they don't even realize that they're doing it. Like in Ramona's case, she thinks everybody thinks I'm fabulous. I'm ageless. I'm ageless by Ramona. Everyone thinks I'm amazing. So she watches this show and she thinks that she is terrific and that she's so proud and so delighted. I guarantee you she's never had a moment of clarity where she has said, wonder if maybe I shouldn't do that. Even though, at least once every season we have an episode where she apologizes to everyone and says, I know I tend to do that. I know that I say things I shouldn't say and that I can be very hurtful. And she apologizes to everyone, and then she immediately goes right back to her same horrible behavior. We've seen this for 12 seasons. But even so, I think that she mostly watches the show and thinks, go me, yay Ramona. So anyway, she says the only snafu was Leah. She's so traumatized by what Leah did, she doesn't even want to talk about it because Ramona is way too much of a lady, as we all know. a lady who will troll anything with pants as she's walking through any random bar in the Northeast United States. Anyway, okay. Yeah, and she just, for some reason, she focuses and fixates on Leah. Leah ruined the party. Leah ruined the party. Leah acted badly. Leah was disgusting. All of the women, including Elise, were in that train humping each other. I counted Dorinda. I counted Leah. I counted Sonia. I counted LuAnn. I even counted the Countess. Everyone was humping. They were all humping. Anyway. So, yeah, all the girls were humping each other. And Sonia was the one who got up on top of one of the tables that had this big decorative glass platter on it. And she's in her platform heels smashing the glass, and shards of glass, splitting off as she's just stomping on it with this giant paper rose on her head. The decor was very interesting. This guru party planner from out on Long Island is no great shakes. I was not impressed by his vision for Ramona's party. We see Leah and Dorinda on their way to join in the salon to support LuAnn rather, and they're talking about, that's exactly what they're saying. Like, why is she so fixated and so angry at Leah when everyone was behaving crazy? Everyone was pretty drunk except for Elise, but Elise was definitely joining in the crazy behavior. And all these tight, face-lifted Upper East and Upper West Side matrons were, oh dear. Because they haven't had sex in 30 years. And, okay. Now they were talking about, they were making fun of the Gucci bag. Oh my God, I forgot to make fun of the Gucci bag. So she is given a group gift of a Gucci bag. And here's the reason. Let me tell you why she gets that Gucci bag. Everyone who comes to the party has to chip in $100 toward her gift, which she has picked out. A particular Gucci bag that she wants. And then when she gets it, she acts like, oh my God, I'm so lucky to have so many good girlfriends with such amazing taste who love me so much. I just feel surrounded by love. I love them so much and they love me so much. And I got this really weird forest green color Gucci bag. It was probably a little cheaper because nobody wanted this color. But anyway, she goes stomping around the party. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, it's embarrassing. It's absolutely ghastly. I mean, I don't know how dare she could possibly be upset about anything Leah did. I don't care if Leah took off all her clothes and dry humped the ice sculpture. I mean, nothing could be more disgusted than the way Ramona was acting with that present. It was awful. And then I think it's Leah who says, well, at least she finally has a real Gucci bag now because that other one was fake. So, like, oh, girl, yes. Yes. Okay. Now, back at the salon, LuAnn and Ramona are talking about how they're worried about Sonia, how she's drinking too much. Oh, because LuAnn is such an expert on sobriety. She is the one. She is the guru of sober living. She went to rehab and decided that, went to a few AA meetings, decided she could do it on her own, and now she's like, yeah, I'm gonna drink when I want to drink. Okay, let me know how that works out for you in the long run. Okay, the girls, the Fortune Society ladies start coming in for their haircuts and their hair color and mani-pedis, and watching Ramona trying to talk to one of them is just painful. It's just painful. She's like, how long have you been? She didn't even know what she was asking. The girl was like, out of penitentiary? And Ramona said yes, and she answered, and then she said she was in for something like 36 months, and the girl said, I'm young and wrong place, wrong time. And LuAnn, girl, you have the nerve, you have the balls to say, when she says wrong place, wrong time, tell me about it. Really? How does the expression I was in the wrong place at the wrong time apply to you? You went to the place where you knew you would see your ex, and you got completely shit-faced drunk, so much so that you ended up going into the wrong hotel room, and when the person in the hotel room told you were in the wrong hotel room, you became belligerent, and then they called the police, and then you fought with the police and became violent with the police, resisted arrest, wiggled out of your handcuffs, kicked the police door, but you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Someone got you drunk and stuck you in that hotel because you were being a psycho bitch chasing your weird, unattractive ex who no one knows why these ladies are into him anyway. He must be great in bed, or I think, you know what it is? I can tell you right now. There are so many stunningly beautiful women in New York City. There are so many models, I mean real models that walk among people. I don't know where, they come from around the world. So you literally have this concentration of stunning women. And I think that Manhattan men of all ages get this ridiculously high expectation of what a woman should look like that would be with them. And because the pool of maybe straight available men that you would want to date is maybe not so big compared to the total population, and because most of them are chasing young models, then older women become a little desperate, and someone like Tom or Harry Dubin, remember that prize, gets all these women draped over him. That wouldn't happen in Miami. No, that wouldn't happen in Miami. Not that we don't have beautiful young girls here, but there are nice looking men here of different age categories, and a dumpy, bald guy with a bad sense of humor is not going to have, unless he's filthy rich, he's not going to have all these women draped all over him. Okay, right, yeah, so that whole thing about LuAnn saying, tell me about it. I just wanted to say, oh, shut up, you entitled bitch. How dare you? But anyway, okay, so at this point, because Ramona is being not even passive aggressive, just kind of cold and hostile and turning her back on Leah, refusing to look at her and engage in conversation with her, Leah finally just bursts out and says, you know, Ramona's a phony bitch, in front of everybody at the salon. She says this to Ramona and Sonia, trying to get Ramona's attention. Well, you know, Leah truly was a drunken mess at the party. She definitely was. She was, her and Sonia were the two worst. Definitely, no doubt about it. But it's really hypocritical that Ramona's great with Sonia. Whatever Sonia does is fine. And then she'll just say, I'm concerned about her. I'm really worried about Sonia. Whereas Leah's, no. She's disgusting. She's embarrassed me in front of my good girlfriends. This group that she's aspiring to be a part of. Why? Why? Because you want to look like, you know, like day-old meat, shrink-wrapped and cling? I mean, I don't know. I don't understand what she sees in these ladies. Okay. So Dorinda tries to talk Ramona down a little bit, to calm her down, without much success. Okay. Next we are at Century 21. And Sonia's Sonia by Sonia Morgan line is being shown. You know, they make a big deal out of it. I kind of have mixed feelings about this. Yeah, it's a very big store. It's a huge store. But I don't know if you understand that Century 21 is like the original TJ Maxx. It's where overages of designer clothes go. And it's a very lovely TJ Maxx. So you're going to find Dolce & Gabbana, and you're going to find, you know, Gucci, and you're going to find everything there. You're going to find Yves Saint Laurent, but it might be a little irregular. It might have a little tear on it, or it might be, you know, out of season. It probably will be out of season. Or it might be an odd size, either a really tiny size or a really big size. So it's a little bit of a scavenger hunt. You go in there and you can come out with, oh my God, I got a Chanel jacket. You know, I got like a $3,000 Chanel jacket for $600. That happens there. But maybe not Chanel. That would really be more like $1,000. Anyway, so you do find things there, but it's a mess. It's not a pleasant shopping experience. It's got those real dumpy, tight, I don't know if they fixed it up. I haven't been there for a few years, but you know, the real kind of nasty dressing rooms where it smells like feet. You know what I'm talking about? And everyone shops there, from like bag ladies to rich ladies. So, you know, it's nice that I guess apparently she's on the ground floor, and also up on the, some of her stuff is on the second floor. It does look like there's a good number of pieces. They were able to come up with a good number of pieces in different sizes. Again, this is one of those things a little bit like Kyle and Shahida, but maybe Sonia was a little bit more involved. But basically what they did was they found a manufacturer that makes clothes in China for all different companies and all different lines. And you pick out of a, you know, basically you go online and you look at pictures of from all different angles of particular styles. And you say, I want so many in size 8, so many in size 10, so many in size, you know, whatever. You go through the sizes and you order like that. And everything's made in China, but you don't design the clothes. The clothes are already done. They're designed. You just say, you could maybe pick the color and the size, and then you stick your labels on them and you sell them. But they're mass produced in China. This is not, you know, it's not like even high end ready to wear. It's probably a good way to make money, because I think the cost would be very low and then you could mark it up. But then in Century 21, she can't even charge what she normally would charge if Sonia by Sonia Morgan costs this on the internet, because Century 21, everything must be discounted. It's like a TJ Maxx. So let's say that there's a dress that you go on her website. I haven't tried to look at her website, and that dress is $120. Well, it has to be $80 or $70 at Century 21. So I don't know how much of a money-making exercise this is going to be. But you know what? Let's not take it away from her that she does have a line that is in a store. I don't know where Kyle's line is going, and that's not Kyle's line. She didn't design any of that. The other woman, the Shahida, did. And I would say that Sonia definitely picked every article of clothing. She went through the Chinese website and picked every one, because it looks like her style. Kyle had no idea what she was looking at. Remember early in the season when she went before the show to look at her line? She had never seen any of that stuff. She just said, oh, here, Shahida, I'll give you some money. Now let me call it, you know, Kyle and Shahida. And let me show up and walk at the end of after the shitty runway show, let me walk and have everyone applaud me as I walk down the aisle, so I can pretend I have a fashion line. I don't know where that's actually going to go. She doesn't have a store anymore. Remember, before she at least had a store she could plunk stuff in. So I don't know what's going to happen to that. But you know what? Sonia's stuff might actually sell, and I think she should go. I think she should go for like Macy's and Bloomingdale's and that level of department store. It would sell. It's pretty. The stuff's pretty. You know, it's very glitzy. It's very matronly. Not quite matronly. It's like just before pre-matronly. It's basically like what Ramona is, where you're getting up there, but these are your last few years where you can show some cleavage and show your legs before you look really weird. I know, because I'm kind of in that place myself right now. So it's that you really want to be glamorous and be glitzy, because you know you are like, yeah, in 20 years I'm not going to wear the stuff I'm wearing now. That doesn't mean I don't hope to look sexy and appealing and, you know, pretty and elegant, but you change what you wear. You cover up a little more. Let's put it that way. The skirts get a little longer and the slits get a little longer, and the cleavage goes up a little. Okay. All right. So now they're going to the big house on Cancun Beach. Okay. Well, actually, I already told you what I think about Cancun, but they really did not state correctly where they were going. They were going to the Riviera Maya. This house is really beautiful. I'm not going to talk any smack about the house. It's lovely. I would be happy to stay there. I would be delighted to stay there. Okay, now, so they're talking. I guess they're driving to the house, or I'm not sure if they're already there, but Ramona tells Dorinda, by the way, you know, Leah is bipolar. That's why she has these problems, because she can't mix her meds with alcohol. It makes her crazy. Thank you, Dr. Singer. I guess that was actually on the way to the airport or before the airport or something, because now they're actually arriving there. They get to the villa, and there's a mariachi band playing Cielito Lindo, the most common mariachi song in the world. When you grow up in Southern California and you go to Mexico all the time, every time you go to a Mexican restaurant as a child, you know, somebody gives the mariachi band $10 to humiliate you by coming up and gathering around you and singing. And I had this like phobia of mariachis from being a small girl and having this like giant group of guys in these studded metal and black suits with the giant hats and all of their giant swollen guitars. I found them very traumatizing as a small girl, and so I would literally like try to like slink into the booth back in the days when restaurants had booths, you know, so that my mom's boyfriend wouldn't notice that he should tip the mariachi band $10 to come and play Cielito Lindo for me. The worst one, the meanest one, was to pay them $20 to play Granada, because that one, because Granada is like 20 minutes long. No, it's not 20 minutes long, but it's really, really long. So I have a very tense relationship with mariachi bands. So, but I was just laughing because Cielito Lindo is like the cliche. It's like the Taco Bell theme. It's like, you know, the cliche song of Mexico. And there are a lot of really beautiful mariachi canciones, and they could have picked something else, but that's okay. All right. So, oh God, I'm afraid Ramona's going to go off and do her room quest thing again. But actually, no, she's busy rushing off to enslave the staff, which is the second thing she does. She has to go and make sure she gets the best room for her and Sonia. And then she also has to make sure that, I'm wondering, I'm going to need some of these things to be steamed and pressed. And if you could just help me organize my shoes, which means organize all my stuff, put all my stuff away. I'm going to go have a drink. Do it now. She's so awful. Okay, so she's talking to Sonia. Ramona and Sonia are talking, and she's going back on about how hurt she is by Leah. And we find out the reason she's hurt is because Leah lifted her skirt and showed her vagina to my 50 very good girlfriends. Yeah. Okay. And then the funny thing was, and the really telling part was, where she said, this was supposed to be about me. This party was supposed to be about me, not about Leah's body. Oh, ding, 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 ding. And now we have the real reason for why she gets so upset about Leah and not Sonia. Because Sonia's a chubby older woman. No, she's not chubby. She's beautiful. Sonia's beautiful, but she's, you know, an older woman. And so as far as Ramona is concerned, Sonia's no threat. All right. They get the rooms. Dorinda uses a rather clever method. She uses a kind of game show method, and whoever wins in whatever order is how you get the rooms. Who gets to pick the first room, the second room, the third room, etc. But all the rooms look beautiful, frankly. Okay, so Ramona is rushing off to make the men unpack her bags, and Sonia goes right to Leah and says, Ramona says you're bipolar, because Sonia has no filter. And actually, it's good that she said that, because Leah's like, wow, yeah, I am actually, but I didn't know it was, you know, like public consumption, and that was going to be the big thing we talk about. And she's like, you know, I'm not on meds. I actually, she was diagnosed at 30, and she worked on it really hard for like 7 years, but she's currently not on meds, and she's managing it pretty well. P.S. I can tell you right now, I don't care what she thinks she's doing. Alcohol and the condition of being bipolar, whether you're on meds or not, is a terrible combination. You know, I won't go into it, but it is a terrible combination. She should definitely not drink. If she's clinically bipolar, which it sounds like she is, she shouldn't drink. It's a terrible idea. But it does explain why maybe she's not overacting when she goes crazy. Sometimes when she's drinking, and a lot of times she blames it on her period. Well, yeah, period, mood swings. Well, you have another problem with mood swings too that's much deeper and more clinical than that, so she needs to be careful. Oh, good, Sonia's already drunk. Yay! It's not Mexican, Sonia isn't drunk. immediately. Leah says that she is not going to apologize to Ramona for showing her vagina because she did not show her vagina. The quest for Leah's vagina. Was it there? Was it over here? Was it under there? Was it anywhere? Was it in her underwear? Anyway, she's not going to apologize for something that she doesn't, think that she did or didn't do. So, fair enough. Okay, apparently, Sonia, who's smashed, and they start to realize she's smashed, and they're like, what's going on? When she was getting ready, I thought she was drinking coffee. And then someone says, no, she's been drinking just Coca-Cola with Rosé. She's drinking Rosé and Coke. I can't even, okay, first of all, don't even get me started on Rosé wine. People, I have a public service announcement. With a very few exceptions, of certain vintners from the south of France, and maybe one or two other places, and one that actually comes from the Loire Valley in France. Most rosé wine is crap, and it's headache in a bottle. And I don't understand why women haven't learned this yet. And I'm not saying, no, I bought Whispering Angel. It was $30 a bottle, so it has to be good. No, I'm telling you, all of that kind of Provençal, Saint-Tropez area rosé, it's not good. You're just getting drunk. You're just getting drunk in what you think is an elegant way. It's a waste of wine. Have a shot. Have a cocktail. That sounds funny, but it's like, rosé is gross enough. And then when they said she's drinking rosé mixed with Coke, I thought, oh, good. Well, now I've heard the second worst cocktail I've ever come across. The first one was when a man asked me when I was a cocktail waitress for a whiskey and milk. I don't even know how that works. It seems like it would curdle it. But somehow the bartender made it happen. So apparently this was not the first time he'd heard of it. I don't know. But whiskey and milk. Okay. All right. So, again, Sonia can do whatever she wants. She's fallen all over everywhere. She's telling they set up this beautiful ceviche bar for them to show them how ceviche is made. And she's saying to the chef, I haven't even had anything to drink yet. And he's like, yeah. Clearly. So everything with Ramona is, Sonia's fine. Leah is not. Leah, you brazen hussy, you whore. Sonia's always showing her cooter. She got thrown out of a gay bar in Philadelphia. Or Pittsburgh? One of them. She's not a threat to you. She's like your little pet poodle. Leah is a threat. Okay. So I'm just saying, honestly, I'm looking at Sonia, and I've been saying this for a while, but now it's really bad. It seems to be so pervasive. Sonia needs help. She needs help, and she doesn't have anybody in her life to stand for her. Not these bitches. Nobody here is gonna... Would Leah help her, maybe? I don't know. I just don't see any of these bitches helping her. Maybe Dorinda? That sounds funny because Dorinda's probably an alcoholic too, but still I could maybe somehow see her trying to help her. I know Dorinda takes a lot of shade, and I've seen so many interviews with Dorinda. I have a hard time seeing that she's truly this horrible person. Like when I was saying, the Housewives really show how they are who they are. The one exception is I feel like Dorinda was told to beat up on Tinsley. That the producers told her to bully Tinsley. It just doesn't seem like it's in her personality. Who else has she bullied? Dorinda gets weird and nutty when she's drunk, but she's not a bully. I don't think she's a mean, vicious person. I always kind of liked Dorinda, and I still want to like her. Anyway. All right, but I would really like to see Sonia get some kind of help, because at this point, she's just not functional, and or she's barely functional. And I like her. I like Sonia. I have a soft spot for Sonia. So let's all put good energy out there and hope that she gets some help. Okay, Leah and Ramona start their big fight. This is just the beginning of the fight, which is going to be continued next time. And Ramona says to Leah, I was the one who took you in. Ah, okay, so now we have something else. Ramona not only feels threatened by Leah, who's young, thin, and attractive, she also feels like Leah should be her underling, that somehow Ramona brought her in, and Ramona was the first one to take her under her wing and try to take care of her in a sense. So Ramona also feels slighted because Leah is supposed to stay kind of below her at her side. That explains a lot. Okay. Ramona is so creepy. I still haven't had my chance to do Dorinda yet, my Dorinda impersonation, because we haven't really had a good full Dorinda scene yet since I've been doing this, but maybe next time. All right, please like my video. Please like my video. What you could really do to help me immensely would be to just take 1 second to just move that finger over and click on that red subscribe button. You have no idea how much that means to me. And please comment and take care. Come back. Can't wait to see you next time. And until then, bye.